What is going on, everybody? You know who it is. It is the dad bod god, the bald, the beard, the fucking beautiful Piers Austin. And you know it is Shooting the Shit Uncensored. It is 9 p.m. on a Thursday fucking night. And I've got the one, the only DjaySonic joining me tonight. And you know, if you caught my first episode with DjaySonic, which I think was back in July, great conversation. Went for, I think, about an hour and 30 minutes. And you know it's a great conversation where you can go through it in an hour and 30 minutes and still be sitting there going like, man, I could have gone on for another couple of hours and not even realize the time. So I'm really keen to have DJ back on. But before we get into it, let's take a quick second, a quick pause for the cause to thank those sponsors that help us keep these lights on up in this bitch every single week. First up is that healthvape.com. If you're a smoker or someone you know is a smoker, one of those filthy smokers or a vapor, you need to get them onto healthvape.com. Use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. But guys, healthvape.com is your healthy vaping alternative. All of their products, no nicotine, no addictive or harmful chemicals. They restore, they give you the vital, the energy, the boost, and they are vitamin infused. That is right. They are vitamin infused vapes. So check them out. Use that promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is that sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, sleefs.com. If you or someone you know is an athlete, this is the place for you. They've got armbands, compression pants, compression socks, headbands, boots, mouth guards, and they've even got those dirty boxes. So, ladies and gentlemen, check out sleefs.com. Use that promo code MWAPOD and get yourself some funky, dirty boxes. But guys, MWA Podcast Network, we're bringing you content continuously this Saturday, 10 a.m. Australian time, which is Friday, 8 p.m. USA Eastern time. It'll be Killing the Business with Angel Medina, the Kingpin Angel, ECW Original, and King Mega. They'll be laying down and talking all sorts of stuff about what's been happening in the world of professional wrestling. You can also check out Knights of the Gimmick Table. They just had their show on today with Lucky 13, Deathmatch Legend, CZW Game Changer Legend. So go and check out that episode and check out their show every single week, Thursdays at 10 a.m., which is Wednesdays, 8 p.m. USA Eastern. You can check out Shooting the Shit Uncensored. You can check out the NXT Roundup, baby. But as long as wherever you are finding us, guys, as long as you are finding us, that is the main thing, right? But I want you to do me a favor. If you like this video, you like any of our content, hit the subscribe button, hit the share, like, comment, all that good stuff. Send it to your friend, your uncle, your cousin, your mother, all of them. Guys, if you're finding us on a podcast platform, please give us a 5-star review. We appreciate it. It goes a long way. But guys, without further ado, it's time for my interview with DJ fucking Sonic. Brother, welcome back to the show. Fuck, it's good to see you, man. How you doing?
Likewise, man. Awesome. How are you?
Man, I'm great, bro. It's great to chat to you and see you again, man. Last time I think I saw you was at EWA like about a month and a bit ago. And you were actually telling me, man.
3 or 4 months ago.
3 or 4 months ago?
It was like something like that. No, actually, you might be right. Maybe 2 months.
The shows are flying, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like it wasn't that long ago, man. But you were telling me, man, you got a bit of a concussion in that match, man. Like, how'd you like pull up afterwards? Like, how long were you sort of on the bench for?
I was probably out for maybe half an hour, man. At least half an hour. I just felt so nauseous. Shit happens. I went basically head first into my opponent, to Vinny Vane, and pretty much went downhill from there. Luckily, it was the end of the match, but bloody had Vinny put me out with his finisher. So it is what it is. So, but yeah, I was out for about half an hour, 45 minutes with the headache.
Dude, that's crazy. So, like, even after the show intermission, I didn't see you anywhere. Like, I didn't know. Like, I
Yeah,
saw it and I was commentating that show, and I was like,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, fuck, like that looked nasty, and like I didn't hear anything afterwards. So I thought, oh, it mustn't have been as bad as what it looked. But it's
yeah.
crazy because like you and Vinny are like two amazing guys. Like, I love you guys to death, and it was great
Thank
to
you, man.
actually have.
Likewise.
Thank you, man. It was great to actually have the opportunity to sit down and call a match of two guys I have a ton of admiration for.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm truly humbled by that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, dude.
It was definitely an awesome show, man. First show for EWA. I think it was like 570. I think it was from memory. I can't remember. It was over 500 from memory.
Huge.
Um, 530. I don't know. I think they knocked back 70 people. I can't remember exact numbers, but it was 500 plus. So that was so cool to do with. It was my first experience doing a massive wrestling show at that capacity. But the next one, you guys, yeah, not gonna
Dude,
put much out there.
they are planning something huge. And you know what?
Yeah,
Like for a company to come in and do a first show, you know, which is basically like to draw 500 something people is truly amazing. And it's truly different. And the thing is, what they're doing is something different as well with like the sponsor tables and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like really giving it more of like a boxing feel to it.
yeah. It's definitely run like that. It's definitely got that feeling as well. I think the VIP section definitely is a different aspect of, I guess, what any other wrestling show does or other promotion does.
Mm.
But it's definitely drawn a lot of eyes to what we've been doing. I know there are big plans for the future. I'm not sure what's going to happen the next show, but there's a lot of shit happening, man. So I'm super excited to be a part of this.
And
And of course,
you know what, dude? I actually had Sam on Osama on,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you know, he actually brought into the interview Tyson Gibbs. And
I
one of the
saw
things I
that.
said, because it's like, you know, you have a look at yeah, and this is the Osama complete pro, because I asked him, I was like, you know, a lot of promoters say, hey, this is going to be the next massive thing. We're going to be like the next WWE almost. And it's
Yeah,
like, as a performer, you hear that as like, and I said to Tyson, like you've been a veteran around for a long time, bro. How many
yeah,
times have you
yeah,
done that? And the thing, and Sam even said, he's like, no, man, I completely understand where you're coming from. This
yeah,
is the go, and I'm being serious. I'm all in for it. And
yeah.
both gave a complete honest answer. But for you, when you first heard what they were doing, what they were planning, were you like skeptical at first, or were you like, dude, I'm fucking all in?
Um, I know Sam pretty well. Behind the scenes, absolute gentleman, absolute gentleman.
Agree.
Um, he used to book at another company, and he was probably the only guy, with respect to everyone, that fully believed in me and what I could offer and provide as a wrestler, as a character, from a business perspective. Um, like not just from a talent point of view, like he could see exactly what I do, like my brand, my merch, the way I carry myself on social media, the way I interact with the kids, like everything. Like I think we had this discussion last time, but when you're in this game, like you need to have all in kind of every aspect to get there, to get to where you want to be. So it's not just about that physical aspect of training every day or being just a good wrestler. You're gonna have the whole shebang, basically. Um,
100%.
so yeah, Sam's an awesome bloke, man. He did believe in me, and he really had me on board before the show was even advertised, before anybody knew about it. I knew about it from last year, so it was under wraps for a while. So to answer your question, I was on board with it from day one. I wasn't as skeptical, but it was like, okay, let's. I'm excited. Let's see what step one is.
Yeah.
So from day one, I was pretty excited for it, man. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, like, because like I had him on the show and we had an awesome chat, and I said to him after the show, I go, hey man, I do like this and that and ring announce commentary. If you ever need me for anything, dude, like I'm happy to help out, whatever you need. And
Oh
he
yeah,
straight away, dude, you're booked. And it was like,
yeah, yeah.
never
He's
seen
like
you
that.
commentate, never saw you. He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
done, opportunity. And it was like, cool, man, let's
He's
do it.
like that. Yeah, he's like that. He's very giving. And I think what I like about him the most, and I think the similarities that between him and myself. I mean, we're both Lebanese,
Yeah.
but besides that, it's the fact that like he's a giving person. He's a family man. So that's kind of where we connect from a personal level.
Mm.
And then everything else, I guess, wrestling wise, and I guess life.
But that's the thing, bro. Wrestling brings people together from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, and that's what I find like truly amazing. Because like you could become friends with someone that outside of wrestling you would like. They're just like completely opposite, not the sort of person you would hang out with, but you have that common bond in professional wrestling, and it brings people
Yeah,
together.
it's so true, man. I look at wrestling like music in the sense that it's very universal.
Mhm.
Um, like from a music background, like from reading, like from as a teacher, I should say. Sorry, like when you're a musician and you're trying to learn an instrument, the notes when you're reading it, it's universal to the world. Like it
100%.
doesn't matter what instrument you're playing, it's universal. It can be read and understood. If you're obviously learning about it. But in the similarities with wrestling, man, it speaks to everyone. Everyone's got their own, I guess, love for it from different characters to storylines, all that kind of shit. So it's pretty awesome.
But like, I think I asked you this like last time, but like as far as like being in the business and watching wrestling, do you find like I find it, and I'm not a wrestler, but I'm sort of involved in some capacity. When I sit down and watch like
Yeah,
a WWE or whatever kind of product, I kind of watch it in a different eye now. Like I see things differently, whether it's more like I'm looking at production commentary, stuff like that, but
yeah,
also watching what's going in the ring, but I'm watching it with a different eye. Do you find yourself
absolutely,
doing that, or can you like detach yourself from being a worker and enjoy what you're seeing?
absolutely. You're kind of aware of so many things. Um, from someone that's in the world of wrestling, and as a worker, you definitely see a lot of things, and you kind of know things that are about to happen just based on, well, for myself, like ring awareness, like when people are in certain areas or when certain things are happening throughout a match, it's like I feel like this is going to happen soon. So it's hard to detach. I won't lie, but sometimes it's good to at the same time.
But dude, you know what? Like I actually found myself a couple weeks ago watching like it was like NXT, and I was like watching I think
Yeah,
Cameron Grimes and I think it was Camelo Hayes, and they were just having a standard one-on-one match. And like, dude,
yeah,
honestly, like I'm sitting there like trying to review it, and I didn't take any notes because I was just sitting there just fucking mesmerized because these guys and like it's cool to shit on what WWE does, but when you
yeah,
see two amazing workers go out and have a great match like that, for me, I was just mesmerized for that 10, 15 minutes where these guys were working, and I was like, holy shit, like fuck. And all I wrote was this match was amazing. Like, you know, and I said it took me out of my element where I could be detached and just enjoy
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
watching.
It's so true, man. Like I look, I was a bit what's the properly sorry, what's the appropriate word to use? Uh, let's use the word detached again. I was
Yeah.
detached from watching a lot of wrestling online for the last 2 years. Just purely due to the fact that um, I mean, I had some shit happening, but personally, and I think now that I've kind of closed my wings up, so to say, as opposed to opening up to work with other people, other promotions. I think now that I'm really restricted with the companies that I want to work with, it's kind of brought back that love for me, and I've just started to get back into watching wrestling. Like I actually watched Wrestlemania and all that kind of shit, which you're supposed to. Fuck, like it's Wrestlemania for
Yeah.
God's sake. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, I
Like,
think there's 4 pay-per-views a year that you got to watch, right?
yeah,
Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
absolutely agree. Yeah, so I've been out of whack with the updates on who some wrestlers are, the results of who's champion. Like, I think I've pretty much been watching highlights,
Yeah.
which kind of keeps me up to date. But the last week or two, I've been watching the shows, so it's been pretty cool to get back into it. But yeah, fuck,
Do you
it
want to like
happens.
because you've had a like a little baby girl as well not too long ago,
Yeah,
like dude, like is she sitting there and getting into the? I suppose she's probably a bit too young to really understand what's going on. But is it your
I,
goal as a dad to be like, man, she's got to be into it, bro? She's
yeah.
got to be into it just a little bit.
Oh, I gotta see if I can find this photo. I'll try and show you. I posted this photo the other day, whilst I was watching Wrestlemania.
Yeah.
Here it is. It can be seen through the Wrestlemania
Look
with my
at that.
baby. All right, she's watching Wrestlemania with me.
Dude, you know what? I try so hard to, like, because I got 3 kids. I got like 6, 4, and 11 months, and it's
Yeah,
like my oldest too. Like I try so hard. Like I've tried putting WrestleMania 1 on for him and just seeing like all
yeah.
the Hulks to get him across the line. And it's like my daughter is more interested in going to an event, and every
Yeah.
time I'm going to an event, it's just like I'm doing something. You know what I mean? I can't take a kid with
Well,
me.
I had my daughter come watch my show. Watch my matches. My first, well, it was her first show. I think it was this December. It was when I won
Yeah.
the AWF title. Um, so to have her there for that first event was actually unreal. Like her first show, and her dad wins
The
the
belt.
AWF Australasian title. So that was a special moment for me. But
Yeah.
I think she got a bit of start. She got a bit startled at the beginning. But you could literally hear her voice screaming like out of excitement throughout the whole match. It was
How old is she now?
embarrassing but exciting.
How old is she now?
She's almost 9 months. I think she's 8.5 months now.
Yeah, wow, man. That's a wild thing. But you know what? Even like I hope you got a photo with her you after you winning the belt because that's kind of like a special moment for you as like
I
your
do.
daughter's
Yeah.
show. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Like
Yeah. I'm planning on
that's
showing
the
it
sort of
soon.
dude, those are the sort of memories that are just like you know what I mean? Like those are stuff that you will
Yeah.
hold on forever. Like even when you're
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of the business, like that photo, that moment is something you can go back and be like, you shared that with her, you know?
It was unreal, man. It was an unreal moment for me. It was good. Shed some tears, I won't lie. It was an overwhelming experience. Um, but yeah, it's one to never forget. I'm glad I got it on video and I got photos of it too, so I can show her one day.
But you know, you mentioned winning the AWF title, and we touched on it. You were trained at AWF by
Yeah,
TNT, and
yeah,
I think a lot of people have started their careers down in AWF, and one thing
yeah,
I think as well, like Greg's Greg, and I think he has a reputation to a certain degree, but he doesn't get involved in any bullshit. He just does his thing. He does his
yeah, man.
shows. He's got a great market. He's got a great following in the fan base. And after
Definitely
20 years
does.
of doing it, you'd expect it. But as far as like you working for other promotions now, is like, are you wanting to sort of expand that, or are you looking at the moment going, look, I'm good with who I'm working for at the moment. I'm invested with where I'm working, and just want to keep working for these guys, or you want to spread the wings a bit?
Look, I my first or second year into wrestling after my debut with AWF, um, I kind of did open my wings and I started work with other promotions. Um, Unfortunately, not well, I'm said every lobster. Wow, every locker room. Um, you got locker rooms that different companies, different people from different companies. You got different cliques. It's just really political, man. Unfortunately, in our industry, um, and I mean, it's very public. People post shit online anyway, but I'm not one to talk about it. Just I can't bother for the drama. Um,
Mm.
but you get uncomfortable around certain people,
Yeah,
who just think that they're better just because of who they wrestle for, etc., etc. And they could be wrestling for one of the best companies in the country, in the state, but it is what it is. That's just how people are, and that's what it's become.
yeah,
Um, but yes, to answer your question, there are certain companies I'd love to, get in the ring with,
mm,
and get experience with as well. At this point in time, I'm pretty content with AWF and EWA, just due to the fact that I work almost 7 days a week. So with
Yeah.
my full time position during the week, and then also on the weekends I'm wrestling or I'm mostly gigging. So I'm DJing or drumming at functions. So that kind of takes over my life, and then I have my family, my daughter to worry about.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's
So
a balance,
yeah,
man. Like it really is. It's like to be able to sort of find that happy medium with everything, and I think even like when I had Vinny on, he was sort of saying it's like when you do so much, there's always something that you're achieving at better at thing. He's doing well in his job,
absolutely.
but his wrestling would suffer, or his family life is doing well, and then his work life is struggling. You know what I mean? Like there's always hard to find that happy balance, But how do you do
Look,
it?
I just do it, man. I don't know. I prioritize. Like, fuck, it's really hard. Like, there's certain times I get gigs when I've been booked for wrestling. It's like, fuck, man. Like, do I wanna go and get paid like peanuts versus fucking, between 150 to a $500 job? Just as an
Yeah.
example, you know, at a gig. Like, it's hard. I unfortunately, like, I don't make enough during my full time gig during the week to, you know, get through with the
Yeah.
family. So sometimes it's like a sacrifice on the weekend, whether it's having time away without my family and working to earn money for the family, and also vice versa with um, should I be spending time more
Yeah.
against making money? It's really hard. Honestly, it's a really hard thing to deal with. Um, but man, fuck, like I'm proud of myself. Like shit, I've got my own place. I had an investment property. I got rid of that. I'm married, got a kid. I'm about to build a brand new house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I finished school year 12 in 2008, and I started gigging straight away. So from day one, I've just been saving my money. Um, and it's just brought me to this day, man. Like I'm 31 years old. I feel like if I even though I'm not making the money that I want to be making, like I know in myself that I'm successful because of where I'm at, what I've done, um, and I'm content. I'm happy, but there's always room for improvement and for progress, which is
But you know what?
why
Let me tell
yeah,
you something, and I don't mean to cut you off there, but having the job where you earn the big bucks isn't necessarily everything because there's
I
always going
agree.
to be, and take it from someone. I was in that position. I had a very high up, management position for a security
Yeah,
company, and dude, like that is a security industry, very taxing. Got
yeah,
paid amazing money, but they
yeah,
demanded. And I wasn't seeing my kids. I wasn't seeing my thing. My health was suffering. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do a lot of
yeah.
things. And I just
Mhm.
went, you know what? If I stay here, I'm going to earn a lot of money, but I'm going to be dead by the time I'm 45.
That's what made me
Not what I
change
want.
my. That's what made me change my mental state is because I've been through the stages where I've gone, I worked a 9 to 5 job. I've hated going there. Um, it's just not. It's like not worth it for my brain. Like mentally, I don't want to do that. I don't
Mm.
want to be waking up, fucking hating my life, going to work, hating my job. What for? You know.
Yeah.
Uh, at the moment, I'm doing everything I love, man. I'm doing my music. I'm in to fitness at the gym, and because I work at the gym, and I'm wrestling. These are three of my favorite things that I love to do. And it wasn't until 2013 when I had a big brain snap.
Yeah.
Um, I need to shift the world around in my life. So that's when I started, searching to go and do my music degree because I always wanted to do a music degree. I ended up bloody going to I googled wrestling school. I found AWF, started training there. I manifested so much, and so much came to me. It was crazy. So that was kind of when shit turned around for me.
Yeah.
Um, but I think just because of my past, like we just with I guess with being bullied in high school, it just shit just kept coming back up from my past, and
Yeah.
just things just kept playing on my brain. So it wasn't until like I had that brain snap that it was a second brain snap. The first one was straight after school, and then the second one was 2013. That shit
But
just shifted for me.
what caused the brain snap? I mean, were you just like overwhelmed? Were you just,
Wasn't
overworked?
happy.
What was the situation?
Wasn't happy, man. If we're talking about the second one, the one that happened 2013,
Yeah.
it was more the fact that I wasn't happy. I was looking for work. I wasn't finding jobs. I just wasn't doing what I loved. I just felt like I was doing things to please. I mean, it's hard coming from a work background. Um, you know, whether you're Lebanese or Greek or Italian, like your parents just. So, what nationality are you? Forgot.
I'm Australian.
Yeah, you're Australian. Okay, cool. So, like, even I don't know about Nathan as well. You can even ask Nathan, but just having like work background is very work parents as a background. It's very hard. Like, they just want you to do certain things, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like you don't want to disappoint your parent, and you just kind of want to do what they want. But at the same time, it's like it's affecting my mental state. At the same time, you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
kind of where the
I
brain
mean,
stuff happened.
what were your parents' feedback like? Did you go and like, did you seek counsel from like parents or family, friends? Like, what was like the feedback from your close people?
I think because they kind of saw me in a bit of a black hole, they kind of like just told me to just take a break. But at the same time, it was like I was in a break because I wasn't doing shit. I was doing crap. Like I was like I'm qualified. Like I'm a web designer. I'm a graphic designer. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I just don't tell anyone. I just can't be bothered for love jobs because people like
Yeah.
to just ask for love jobs. Um,
Hey, brother.
yeah, but like it's like I did that for years now. Like working at a printing company, graphic design company. I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all.
Mm.
But it wasn't until my grandmother passed away that's kind of where shit got real for me. So it's like, fuck, man, like I just got to get out of this hole. No one else can help me do it. I got to do it. So like
And that's the thing, man.
2014,
It's like you have to like work hard to, if you want to do something that you love, you have to put the work in to get there to achieve it. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely, yeah,
there's certain sacrifices you have to make. I've seen friends that have their like own businesses, music studios, for example, that missed out on
yeah,
birthdays and sorry, man, I got a band in recording. I got someone coming in to rehearsal. I can't come and hang out. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
shit that happens in life. But you know what I mean,
yeah,
when you're in that situation and you're doing something you love, but
yeah,
after a while it can be taxing if you don't
yeah,
truly love it. And I think that you've got to be really into it. And I think to be like in the music or wrestling business, and I think any kind of sport as well, athletes have to be a certain level of selfish because training has to come into a certain
yeah,
part. And it's hard when you
yeah.
got like family commitments and stuff like that.
It's so true. It's so true. Like I think I'm very grateful and very lucky that like I work in a gym. So
Mm.
I have that hour to spare during the day to train. Whereas instead of like having a 9 to 5 job, then I have to like drive home or drive to the gym, and then it's at the end of the day. For me, I do long hours, man. Fuck from 9 to 7, 7:30, long hours days.
That's rough.
But Fridays, yeah, it's very rough, man. 4 days a week, and then Fridays I work a half day, so it's taxing on the body. It's taxing energetically, mentally, physically, like everything. So, but it's just the grind, man. It's fucking just trying to be a man, trying to be a father, trying to be a husband. So it's doing what
It's
I can.
hard, man. It's hard being an adult, bro, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
when you're at school, all you want to do is get into the real world, and once you're in the
Yeah.
real world, you go back to school.
Well, I don't want to go back to school because that's kind of where I was fucking tormented. So
No. But like,
yeah.
like in school, like you mentioned, being bullied, tormented. Like, what were you bullied over? Like, what was it due to? Like, were you a chubby kid? Like, what was it
I
going on?
was, man. I was really overweight. I was really feminine in school, and just because I couldn't get along with a lot of the boys at school, I kind of closed myself off to always being with girls. Uh, but now that I look at it, it wasn't a bad thing.
Not for a
But
teenager going through puberty, brother.
I know, but no, it was just I dealt with a lot of shit, man. Fuck from like 2000 and I think 2004, 2005, I believe it was, up until 2011. And not many people know this, but I did try taking my life.
Dude,
Um, just because I was like over what I was going through. Yeah. Oh, now I get emotional just thinking about it. But um, yeah, it's not something that I regret. I'm kind of very grateful that I'm still here. But yeah, shit happens. You grow. I was very fortunate enough to have a close teacher of mine notice some things on my body the following day, and he sent me straight to counseling, which really helped. It was great.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm still very close with him till today, just because I feel like he was the only person that was there for me at the time, um, and has kind of been through that journey with me too. So it's been pretty awesome, man. It's been pretty awesome.
And to do the right thing as well. Like I think a lot of people in that situation would be like, "Oh, talk to me. What's going on?" But to go, no, you need to go and speak to someone
Yeah,
who can actually
yeah,
help you. Because that's the thing,
yeah,
friends and family.
yeah,
Or, oh mate, you don't want to do that, blah, blah. But an actual counselor who can sit there, get everything off your chest to that you don't know, they have no emotional connection to you, and they can give
yeah,
you advice and guidance that you'll probably listen to because in that situation, you're never going to listen to the people closest to you because you're just so closed off. And I understand the situation you're in, man, and it's a terrible place to be there. I'm very glad you were unsuccessful at that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so am I. I look. I have no regrets in my life. I think everything happens for a reason. I'm a big advocate to those words. Everything happens for a reason. Um, fuck, like all the like the brain snaps, all the everything that happened for a reason. I'm just grateful that I'm still here and that I get share my story with everyone. As cliche as that sounds, but fuck, it's the truth, man. Like,
But dude, that's inspirational to a lot of sense because I think like, you know, going through like teenage angst is one thing, and going through like
yeah,
schoolyard bullying and stuff like and schoolyard stuff is always going to be there, I think, for a lot of people.
yeah.
And kids are assholes at the best of times, man. But I
Honestly, it's
think
true.
yeah, like they are because the thing is they don't have the maturity and their brain hasn't developed enough to understand that words hurt. You know what I mean? Like, and when they become adults and they start going into it, you look at it and go, "Fuck, man! Like that's a shitty thing that I said to this person." But like,
Yeah.
for you to then overcome that, seek the counseling and not close off from it, embrace it, and then go on to achieve that what you've done in your life thus far, dude.
Mm.
Main thing, you're a beautiful little girl. That's a huge achievement, bro. You know?
Absolutely agree. Yeah, no, it's good, man. I finished year 12 and fuck the biggest change that happened for me was losing over 25 kilos. So, I used to weigh 94 kilos, a chubby boy. I was full of acne. Fuck, my face was so red, I looked like a cherry tomato. Like it was ugly. um, it was that to happen for me to change. So again, there's no regrets. Like it changed my life in a positive way from a negative. Um, but yeah,
But was it the counseling that really went, you know what? I need to start changing my shit. I need to drop some weight. Or was it like what inspired the weight loss and this transformation?
I wouldn't say it was the canceling, but that did help me with letting stuff out. The biggest thing for me and my outlets that got me through that were one, drumming,
Mhm.
and two, wrestling, because they're the only two things that I've mainly focused on. And the only reason why I stayed to year 12 was to do my music performance, my HSC, which I aced, which was awesome. But I'm not academic in any other way. I'm
No,
very hands-on. I'm a very hands-on practical person. So music is what I love. That's what helped me. That was my outlet. That's what got me through high school
yeah, man.
as
And
well as
I
wrestling.
think, and I'm the same way as you, dude. Like music was a big part of my life,
Yeah,
growing up. And that's where it really, I think it gives a lot of outlet. Like I'm a few years older than you, but I can remember
yeah,
being a teenager just like playing fucking Nirvana songs over and
yeah.
over, being a grungy fucking 13-year-old. But like at the time, it made me feel good. I didn't understand it, but it was like looking
Yeah,
back, it was like 'cause I was an angry little fuck playing angry music, and I got my aggression out doing that, and it's such a great thing to do. And like even working out and stuff like that and training, it for me, it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing.
absolutely, man. I used to come home from school. I'd run straight up to my drum kit. I was on there for 3 hours, like every single day. Fuck, straight after school. Man, I had my headphones on. I had my fucking death metal, heavy metal shit all happening. Double kick. I was on my double kick. Like it was just aggression all the time. Like everything I was playing. So that kind of got me through it.
It's right. I think even playing the drums would be like the best like thing to like musical
So
instrument
good.
to vent because it's like it's literally just bashing the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But dude, like playing drums for 3 hours every single day, I bet your neighbors fucking loved you.
Hated me. I'd have to stop like shit. But the good thing is that in our garage, like old house, people would complain, but in the new house when we moved in, we have an attic. So I was kind of upstairs in the attic of the garage, and I was kind of isolated away from everyone, so it's good. It was just me and the drum kit and my headphones. That's it. Loud music. That's all I needed.
So, like when your parents had friends over that, like, okay, just don't go near the attic. Jason's up there. Like we just go there and throw in food every once in a while.
Nah, they could definitely hear it, man. Fuck, I used to get calls from my dad like, "Get the fuck off the fucking drum kit. We have visitors over." But you're gonna deafen everyone. It's like, ugh. So it was alright in that regard, but yeah, I was a teenager, and then I left, and then I finished school, and then I started studying, and then I started training, and I started losing weight, and then shit progressed from there.
Yeah, man.
And that's when I struggled to find work in the field that I was studying and what I was studying in. Um, and then I had that brain snap, 2013. So I ended up doing my music degree, started training wrestling. To be honest, 2014 to 2016 were like literally the best years of my life. In the sense that like, man, I was at JMC Academy at the studio where I was studying. Like, it was awesome experience I used to get out of it. The people I met, the networking. Fuck, man, being at that college is what got me the opportunity to go on tour for 3 months around Australia with the top three finalists from the X Factor and The Voice.
Dude,
It was an awesome,
crazy.
yeah, it was awesome. Like, we were on the road for 3 months. It was the best. That was literally something I manifested for so long. Fuck,
That's the
man,
dream, really,
touring.
isn't it? Like to
It
be a
is.
musician on tour for 3
Oh
months.
man, touring the country in a minivan with your instruments, just the boys, like unreal experience, And we're all like young kids, young
Oh
teenagers.
fuck.
I was a little bit older than that. I think I was about 5 years older, but the experience and the opportunity and the people that we met, oh, man, it's unreal. But I kind of got a glimpse of what it was like to be famous. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, we're at a pub and people were coming up to us to take photos. Like, is this really what it's like? It's like, I don't know if I can deal with this. Like, literally, at a bar, having fucking chicken schnitzel, fat Jason having chicken schnitzel and chips. It's like, photos like, can I eat my meal in the middle of a meal? It's like, shit. I never said that. We obviously said yes. We took photos and stuff. So it was an awesome feeling to experience.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know how these guys do it, the famous people.
That's like once in a lifetime though kind of thing to be able to go and to be able to have that experience, man. And it's like
Yeah.
to go and do that. And again, that's another one of those things where it's like memories of a lifetime that you can do. Like if you
Yeah.
never played another gig or never had that opportunity, you can at least say, hey, I was on tour with this fucking thing for 3 months, going around, living the dream, man. Because that's,
It was
dude, I'm impressed.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. And that led to more networking. Like, I ended up drumming and being a personal DJ to another top three finalist from The Voice. Her name was Fasika. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome, man. Like, experience is awesome. Networking, like, we get flown out to Queensland, to Melbourne to do all this kind of shit. So it's pretty cool.
Man, that's crazy. But I wanted to ask as well, and you mentioned earlier as well, like there's politics in wrestling and shit
Yeah.
like that. How long into the business, like, did you go in there like a bit of a smart mark, like knowing some of this shit, like knowing that it's a political thing, or did you just go in completely blind, not knowing any of how the backstage thing? And how long did it take you to really understand that and find out about the political side of wrestling?
So I definitely did not go in knowing that was going to happen. And I don't think anybody does unless you know someone that wrestles or has a part of the wrestling world that gives you that advice. I knew nothing about that. I went in as a fan, wanting to learn what wrestling is and actually being inside of a ring. I don't know if you remember, but I remember fucking going to shows as a fan, nothing to do with training or wrestling, like as a worker,
Yeah.
and just being like to myself, "Fuck, I just want to go. I want to feel the ring. I want to experience. I want to walk in the ring. Like I just want to run the ropes." That's a normal feeling to have, and that's what I had, and that's what led me to wanting to um try, like, to learn to wrestle and get in the ring and be trained. Um, so back to your question, no, I had no idea. It took, I think, year two, second year after debuting. Um, Once, like as I said before, when I opened my wings, I wanted to go work with other people. It wasn't until then that I realized that there's politics involved everywhere you go. Um, like it's like you don't train here or you work there. Oh, this promoter has fucked us over. So put it this way, okay. Greg's a fantastic person. Greg has changed. Greg used to cop so much heat. TNT, sorry, used to cop so much heat from a lot of different people. And unfortunately, like I, as a wrestler, would be copping heat because of that, which was very unfair.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of turned
It's
me off.
guilty by association, yeah.
But that's where the political side of shit really opened up to me, and I could see that things were happening. But I'd always question, it's like, your problems have nothing to do with me. Why is that affecting me or what I want to do with your promotion or your school? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm paying you to be at your school. Shut the fuck up, take my money, fucking train me. That's it.
100%. Like it has nothing to do with where else you train or anything
Correct.
like that. And dude, I can recall like when I first started getting into doing this stuff, and I work for one promoter, then this other. Oh, how do you think he'll feel about it? I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Your problem with them
Yeah.
is your problem. It's not mine. I
Yeah.
want to work for every fucking company I can. I want to call
Yeah.
some great fucking matches and have some fun with
That's
some
it.
friends. Like I
Like
don't give a fuck
it's about
about that.
wrestling. It's about wrestling. It shouldn't be about bullshit. That's
I
the
agree,
unfortunate
man.
world.
And dude, even like you know, like wrestling is a cool fucking thing. Like it's the coolest thing in the fucking world, man. Like
It's so cool. Like, fuck. Yeah, guys dressing up in fucking everything. Like, it's not normal, but it's normal. Like, it's the
yeah,
most amazing thing in the world. I think it's the most entertaining thing, literally. Like, it's sports entertainment for a reason.
but you know
Um,
what? If you're a wrestling fan, you're a wrestling fan for life. If you're not a
yeah,
wrestling fan,
100%.
you're never. And I've said this a million times. You're never gonna get the business. You're
Yeah,
never gonna let your mind open up to it. You're just
yeah,
gonna sit there and think, "Oh, it's a goofy fucking wrestling, the fucking
yeah,
elbow drop."
yeah,
You're
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna get it, no matter
I agree, man.
who's wrestling.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, my mum hates it because she sees that the physical side that I have to come home from, that I come home. She sees. Sorry, let me rephrase that. She sees the way I come home, broken,
Mm,
bruised, fucking cuts, bruises, everything. So, from a parent's perspective, my mum doesn't like it. My dad hates it because of the injuries I've had, everything I've sustained from wrestling. But then, exactly like you said, if someone comes in with a closed mind, not understanding the concept behind it, what we do, that's a typical dickhead, like, oh, it's fucking fake, bro. It's like, fuck you. Like, we know what it is. Live and breathe it. You know what I mean? It's like, come and do what we do. Come and just the athletic side of stuff. Go run the ropes 10 times. See how you feel after that. You know what I mean? You're gonna be fucking gassed.
and that's the thing. Is like when you see fans sitting there going, "Oh, that person's a shit fucking worker."
Yeah.
Really? How long you been working, champ? Like that.
How
That
the
is
fuck would you know?
usually that is my go-to whenever I hear someone go, "Oh, that person can't wrestle."
Yeah.
Really? Tell me more, veteran.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. It's like you're over the barricade, man. Like fucking, you're a mark. Like you're a fan in the most respectful way. I'm saying that. It's like, dude, like you don't have a right to comment like in that regard.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly, man. And you know what, bro? That's exactly the way that you know what I mean. Like I said, I do shows where I'm talking about past shows and reviewing and shit like that. Never ever do I ever criticize a worker unless it's like something completely like stupid. I go, I don't understand what they did there.
yeah, yeah,
That didn't make sense. That was seemed a bit silly to me. But that's about the extent I go, because I'm not a trained worker. I can't say that is shit or that person is shit because I don't know.
It's like you don't know what we do, but at the same time, it's like everyone's got their own opinion. That's fine. You know, you learn to accept that. That's life. But it's like, do you really have the right to make a comment like that? It's like, no. Step into the ring.
But that's the thing. Like, that's where, like, and yeah, I was talking to JT Robinson last night on the NXT Roundup, and you know, he said the same thing. Like, fans going to shows and starting chants and stuff. Like, okay, you want to be part of the show, but like, fuck, you're ruining the show at some points with stupid shit.
Yeah. Actually, it's like the NXT show last night that I watched. Who was it that was on the mic? I think it was Steiner. No, shit, I can't remember. It was someone on NXT, and they're saying like you had half chance, like if you deserve it, and it's like no, you don't. It's like, man, it's like
Cameron Grimes, yeah.
that's it. It's like, dude, like fuck, like you're killing the moment, killing someone's vibe. Like fuck, they're on top at the moment.
But that's exactly right. It's like the guy's a babyface. Give him, like, you know what I mean? Like, fair enough. If you don't like him, but like he hasn't done anything to be over the top, obnoxious babyface. But it's funny. The same thing happened with the Tony D'Angelo thing when they're trying to make him do the maid ceremony in the ring. It's like the crowd's chanting boring, and my view on that was I think that segment just went over the head of the audience. I don't think
which one was it? Sorry.
When the Italian guy is getting made in the ring and the card and
okay.
That shit, like, dude, NXT fans don't understand that shit.
Yeah, that was a bit of a, I don't know, I found that weird too, but it's like, just let the shit happen, let it happen. It's happening for a reason, the writers have written it, but I guess not everything's perfect.
But. Yeah, I mean, but I think as well, you got to, like, I think that that segment to me probably would have been something a little bit better if it's like pre-recorded, make it a bit more cinematic, dark room, then you eliminate bullshit, and you could tell a much better story that way. But
I think it's true.
But as far as like promoters go for you, like, you know, when you're going to a show and they say, right, you're working like Vinny Vane tonight, this is what the outcome is, this is what the thing is. Like, have you ever had a promoter come up to you and say, hey man, I need you to do this fucking 450 splash off here? And like, have you ever had to say to a promoter, look, I'm not doing that shit. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I'll be very direct. Yes. I've had it happen before. I think just because I'm, you know, a bit of a high flyer, I've had a few promoters ask me to do some stuff. And it's like, man, like, no, I don't want to die. I've never practiced it. Like, I never trained to do that move. I can't just fucking do that at a live show. I don't know how well my opponent's gonna catch me or how I'm gonna land on my opponent. Like, fuck, shit happens. Like, I did my first suicide dive at an AWF show. Never did it, and I'll never do it again. Because I never trained. I never tried that in training. Basically, I ran the ropes to do a suicide dive to the outside, and I didn't push off enough, and so I didn't get much air time. Basically, as I landed on the guys, but I think I'm not going to blame them, but I think it was my fault, their fault kind of thing at the same time. Yeah. Where one, I didn't push out, I didn't go out further. Two, when they caught me, they went forward as opposed to falling down or backwards.
Oh,
so on the ring, you got the bar, the T-bar that holds the ring up on the base. Yep. Basically, I don't know if you've seen what the steel is. The steel's like that thick. I don't know if you can see that thickness. Yep. And literally, I smacked the back of my head on that. I didn't realize at the time, but I was busted open the back of my head. I have a scar still there, and I didn't know until the commissioner Matt Spencer came around to me. He's like, "Dude, don't fucking panic, but you're in a pool of blood." I was like, "What? How the fuck can I not panic?" So I didn't realize because of the adrenaline.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
And it was only the slightest hit as well on my head, but. Well, what felt small, it felt light to me, but it could have been the adrenaline that I didn't feel the heat. But man, fuck, I was in the hospital till like 4 a.m. I got like 7 stitches in the back of my head. I don't know if you can still see it through my hair now, but you probably wouldn't.
Fuck.
Yeah,
That's,
so yeah, man, like back to your question, have I ever said no to someone? Yeah, I definitely have, man. That's my safety. That's, I have a family. I have a job to, to go to at the end of the day. And I don't know I don't even know if promoters have insurance for us or if we're supposed to have insurance. I don't even know. It's something I think it's something that we should personally have,
mm.
but it's something that promoters should and companies should be catering to their workers.
They should have, like, I think promotions should have a liability insurance. It's like
Yeah,
any company, man. You get injured at work, the company is
yeah,
responsible for a certain degree.
yeah.
Depending on what the situation is. I think the same with wrestling. I think the insurance would probably be fucking expensive as fuck for it.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Premiums would be
The
massive,
insurance
but
in
like
itself.
at the end of the day, if someone's going to get severely injured on their show, they should be looked
Yeah,
after. You know what I mean? Straight out.
absolutely. It's not worth someone's health. Absolutely not.
Mm. And
But
I'm glad you said
I
that,
get,
saying no to doing certain spots, because you see a lot of indie wrestling and deathmatch wrestling and stuff like that. And I love deathmatch. I love high flying. I love the violent stuff. But dude, like, you stop to think as you get older and go, man, like, dude, like, you have a full-time job and you're doing this punishment to your body. Like, what's the payoff here?
I'll be honest, and I say this with all the utmost respect to anyone that does that. Um, I don't understand that either, man. Like death matches, like fuck, that's fucking that takes a toll on your body. Wrestling itself takes a toll on your body, but to be in those kind of matches, like with fucking light bulbs popping over your head, fucking the scarring, the cuts, I never see myself doing that, man. And
Yeah,
I never want to see my family see me like that, like in a state of fucking blood and cuts. I don't know,
yeah.
but again, I completely respect anyone that does that. That's onto
Mm.
them. That's up to them. Sorry. I think that's tougher than just a normal wrestling match.
It is, man, and I enjoy it to a certain extent. But when I was younger, I used to be really into it. But now I sort of look at it, I can appreciate it. It's harder when I know the people in the matches doing it, because I'm
Yeah,
like, man, like, fuck, like, that's
yeah.
funny. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Oh,
But like, wrestling's an illusion, man. It's always like, you know what I mean? The poke and twist and
yeah,
all that other like funky bullshit and the terminologies you want to put on it. And
yeah,
I think deathmatch wrestling now, as opposed to if it's done correctly and they can sort of tease the gimmicks and have a good match, and then you know what I mean, as opposed to like how it was back in the day, guys walking around going with fucking
ugh.
blades. Nah,
Dude. Fuck. What about like people that?
I
Yes,
agree.
yes. I totally agree. I think that's something that a lot of promotions fucking lack, and that's someone behind the curtains, first aid. Man, fuck. When I busted my head open, dude, like I was literally in like some fucking secondhand towel that's had like oil and shit on it from under the ring. It's like, dude,
Fuck.
that can't be healthy for my head. You know what I mean? So I really, really, really agree with Scotty there. Fuck, man, a first aid person is a must at every show. You never
Yeah.
know what can happen.
Yeah, like even just
Um,
someone who can be that first responder, something happens, they can, I mean, go out there and understand what's happening and, okay, cool,
yeah,
look, we got to have to call an ambulance. We know this, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
Because it's hard. Like, promotions can't have fucking doctors there, but I think having someone there with a first aid certificate, that to me is at
yeah.
least a step in the right direction.
I mean, I'm first aid qualified, but I don't want to go there.
So am I, brother.
Fuck, it's like that. What did you do that before? Yeah, hey brother. I was like, fucking, you got some freebies? Nah.
Yeah,
Nah. Fuck, if someone needs fucking medical help, you have to. We're
100%.
obligated to do that.
100%, and
Um,
especially like I think like being the wrestling, fraternity side of things as well. Like if you see someone get hurt, the fuck yeah, man, you're gonna go in there and be like, hey man, one of the
absolutely,
boys was one of our people got fucked up. Man, what can I do?
dude.
What can I get you? It's
Yeah,
human compassion to a certain thing as well. Like if you've
yeah.
got a
Fuck,
fucking head pissing out blood and someone walks past and goes,
it's
see you fam, see you next show, bro.
yeah. Fuck. But I gotta say, like, working at AWF and EWA, what I was talking back about the locker room, it's the
Mm,
same with from both sides. There's that genuine locker room that isn't clicky.
yeah.
you know. So fuck, it's tough. It's a tough one there, but I'm just trying to backtrack to your question. Well, I think I answered already about saying no to promoters, but I think that's a big thing for anyone that's new in the industry, man. Like, if you're not comfortable, you say no. Don't feel obliged to
Yeah.
say yes just because you have to. You don't have to. Um, I'm grateful now for my growth as a wrestler and as a human that I've learned to speak up. If I'm not comfortable, I'm not doing it. I'm not risking my body for no one. Fuck.
Do you think
And
people don't speak up because they're worried about getting heat?
absolutely, it's okay to say no, man. Like people would just want to get heat. Um,
Scotty Paulo
it's
agrees,
okay. He's our big champ, man, at the moment, EWA. And he's spot on with both his comments. Like, it's okay to say no. If you're gonna cop heat, that's not that's a representation of how that person is. And maybe you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
That
100%.
that's
Like,
that's how I've grown now as a human, and as a wrestler. It's like, fuck, man. If you don't have my best interest on hand, then why am I here? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Um,
Like getting in
and
the ring, you're putting yourself at risk to a certain extent
already,
anyway, right?
yeah,
And then it's
already,
like,
yeah.
we want you to do this, and then fucking, and I had one performer. I was like, he had one promoter, never been in a in-ring work. It was like, yeah, so you're in a ladder match. What I want you to do is like, we're gonna have two ladders, one on one side of the ring, one on the other side of the ring. You're gonna be on
Fuck
one side
that.
on one ladder. I want you to leap over onto the other. It's like,
Nah,
man, I ain't fucking Superman, bitch. Like, what do you
what the
expect?
fuck's that shit?
He's like, I ain't fucking Superman. Like, that's impossible. I'm not fucking doing that.
You've just sparked something in my brain, like about promotions that I wouldn't even say hire because some promotions don't pay people fuck, but some promotions just get people that don't even have never learned to wrestle. Like I've been in a locker room where a promoter, I would never mention names, man. But a promoter got a young kid over 18, but he's a
Yeah.
young kid, with a somewhat respectful disability, um, um, jump in the ring with someone. It's like, dude, this guy's never taken bumps. He
Was
doesn't
this
even
on
know
a
the
show?
sing. Yeah, I don't work the show anymore. After that match, and what was she? It was I copped heat for that too because I was backstage and I questioned it, and then again political. I'm not gonna even go there, but
No.
promoters. Sorry, I keep saying promoters. Companies do that. Promotions do that where fucking they just get random people. It's like, dude, like it's taken me like fucking since 2014 to be where I am now. Like this kid literally came backstage, his eyes were blood red, marks all over his body. Like he had no idea. I don't even think he was mentally there. Like in terms of like he must have been fucking hey concussed or something because he wasn't all there. Like he couldn't even hold the conversation with me. His eyes were like everywhere. So it's like, dude, like why do people do this for? I don't understand that.
Bro, but even
Um,
then, like, we talk about liabilities. You're putting someone in there who doesn't know how to work, doesn't know how to bump, and you're putting him in there with someone who does know how to work. And it's like any kind of combat sports, bro. Like if you and me got inside a wrestling ring, bro, it would be the most dangerous fucking thing in the world for you and me because I'd have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And as a promoter,
correct.
you have to take a level of duty of care for who you have working on
Absolutely.
your roster, whether they're paid or not. If they're in your ring, they are part. You have a duty of care to protect them. Simple as that.
Absolutely, man. I don't know. I was scarred from that situation, and that one time I got worked on that show. I didn't work there again because I didn't want to be part of that. I knew it was wrong. I questioned it. I copped heat for it. I'm like, fuck this. This not worth it. And the ring wasn't even properly secured for us to
Oh
bump on.
shit.
So like there were not safety mats. There was the mats that we bump on. There was a section of the ring that was missing. It's like, what the fuck? Like the fact that we got to tell other workers, like I don't know how some workers are. Like Scotty, I don't know if you're still there, man, but fucking back me up on this. I don't know if when I'm in the ring, I literally take a walk around. I feel the floor. I make sure that there's no lumps in the mats and the canvas, so no one trips over, or there's like timbers are, they're flush, not like on top of each other. It's my safety. It's a safety I believe is important to me for my opponent. The last thing I want is for my opponent to get fucked up in the ring while I'm in there with it. Like, I would feel like shit. But yeah, like, I think it's important as workers. Like, I generally would go warm up in the ring before the show, so I would go and check the ring, if you have a feel the ring. And you got rings that are tougher, harder than other rings. It's like landing on concrete. So it's just to get your body, I guess, intact for what you're gonna be bumping on. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I kind of go in and have a feel around. But yeah, man, fuck. I'm not gonna never say never, because I never burn my bridges with anyone.
Sure.
I'm that kind of guy. But yeah, I haven't worked that promotion since.
Oh, dude, like, without a doubt. I mean, for someone like you to stand up and say something, bro, like, you're a very respectful guy, very friendly, and
I
very
don't open
chill.
my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I'm that guy.
but you know what I mean? Like, you're a smiley dude. Like, at a show, you
Yeah,
have the biggest smile on your face. You love being there. And for you to
Thank
turn around and say something, dude, like, that has got to, that's got to be a serious issue if you're standing up and getting upset over something, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. I actually had someone say that to me yesterday. Actually, from a personal conversations. Like if I'm upset about something or I'm questioning something, something must be wrong. But yeah, man, safety first. Always check the ring before playtime. Absolutely, exactly what I said. I
100%,
always go before
man.
the show. But yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, exactly,
Um,
man. But, as far as, like, this year, I mean, you've got EWA, you've got AWF. What's a goal you want to achieve in 2022?
Well, I've already knocked one off with EWA, and that was wrestling at a big crowd with a big crowd. It's only going to get bigger. So I'm excited for that. That's kind of where my goals are. Just working a good promotion, which I am, with a good crowd, which I will be, with a respectful locker room, which I think is a massive blessing for me. Man, fuck. I feel good. I feel good about this year in terms of wrestling. Again, I've stopped working promotions since the end of last year. I made a stop to it. Um, there's certain companies that fuck. I don't want to travel all the way to Newcastle, for example, to work shows. Or I'm not getting paid a certain amount of money. It's like, dude, like, I'm a professional. I'm providing a premium service. Pay that premium price. You know what I mean? And
100%.
the hardest thing is the fact that some of us have injuries. Like, I have a sciatic issue, and then I have scoliosis in my back, so I got to get constant treatment. So I got to go get a chiro, go to physio. Fuck, man, there's like $80 each visit. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, and I have to pay for health insurance as well. That's another cost. Like, I don't think promoters take that into account, but at the same time, that's the wrestling business. It is what it is. But at the same time as well, is like, that's what's become the norm, and I think that needs to change. But I'm just one man, so I don't know what other people's opinions are.
Oh, man, I think everything that you've said in this past hour has been pretty much spot on, bro. Like, as far as, safety, less politics in the business. And look, bro, I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen any in it. I'm not saying that you're lying or anything like that. I personally haven't seen it, but also I'm not a worker. I'm not in competition with people directly. So there's a different element. But as far as, yourself and, seeing where everything goes now, you've performed in front of a big crowd. EWA, the crowds are going to get bigger.
Yeah.
AWF, one of the longest standing promotions running in Sydney, going well there. As far as you now, you mentioned the injuries, being a family man, everything like that.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself wrestling for 10 more years, 15 more years? Like, where's the end date for you? But not even that, like, what's the main goal for you? Like, is WWE, is that the main goal for you? Is it just happy to stay here?
Definitely had a conversation with my wife about this before. WWE is the goal. But the reality is at the moment is like, fucking, I'm working like it's the shit world, man. Like the shit world is
Yeah,
like you work to live, man. Like,
exactly
you
right.
know what I mean? Um, I don't want to give this out.
It's all right. You don't have to.
Um,
You don't have to.
yeah,
Don't
no,
don't feel, don't feel pressured,
I
bro.
had
Please.
no, no, I had an opportunity in 2020, um, for something. It didn't work out just because of COVID. Um, and I've been trying to chase that since, chase it back. So it hasn't come forth, unfortunately. Um, but a lot of guys that get signed, or a lot of our guys that have been signed, we all know where they're from. So it's
Yeah.
just like, fuck, man. Like, it just sucks that, like, what about everyone else? You know, there's so many other good wrestlers out there. Yeah, I think that side of the world in US or the UK just sees like that one aspect um of a company or a wrestler where this wrestler's working at. So it's kind of shit in that regard. But um yes, the dream is WWE. And AWE, that'd be awesome, man. And if it's not, then I don't know why people are wrestling. You know,
100%, bro.
but
Yeah, if your goal isn't to make a living in this business, getting into it, and you're going to put your body on through all this fucking punishment and pain,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like there has to be a goal for it.
absolutely. Look, I feel so happy right now. Again, where I'm at, EWA, AWF. I'm at the top of AWF. I'm the champ.
Yeah,
It's been 5, 6 years in the making. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm so grateful for the opportunity and grateful for the fact that I've lasted that long. EWA, same thing, man. I'm happy just to be there at the moment, to be mixing with different guys, to be working with different people. For me, it's just about progression. I want to progress in life as a wrestler, as a human, whatever it is. I think by working EWA now, I'm working so many different talents. But that's gonna help me grow.
mm,
Um, and man, we got people like fucking, you know, Gibbs, Scotty, fucking Robbie Zuko, Sammy as well. Like we got vets. Like
yeah,
shit, man. Like I'm the type of guy I love watching my matches back. I love to see when more things that I dislike, or things that are fucked up, or things that need to be improved, and I source it myself. I see what I can change, or what I can fix, or how I could do something better than what that was. But having those guys there, I ship my matches to them. I get their feedback. So that's something that I'm content with at the moment. Down the line, man, if there's new titles involved, like fuck, man, I want to be involved with that. You know, I want to be working big crowds again. It's gonna explode. I'm telling you, I'm so confident in what EWA is at the moment and what it's going to be. And I'm confident because the team that we have and the locker room that we have, and the talent that we have is gonna fucking skyrocket, man. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
oh man, I absolutely agree. But man, we've been going for an hour and almost 10 minutes and some change, bro.
Oh, cool.
Again, literally, I hadn't. The first time I looked at the time, bro, I thought we must have been going for like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, shit, we've hit that 1 hour mark, bro. Man, you
Oh
know what?
shit.
I want to get you and Vinny, sorry, on
Yeah,
for a dual podcast because I reckon the three of us would have a fuckload of fun, and I'm gonna try and
man.
teach.
I would love that. I've called it a few times, but we'll see. When the time is right. He wasn't available this week, man. I tried to tee up.
Oh,
I'll be
but
honest.
yeah, you know what? This was kind of like a last minute thing, and I appreciate you jumping on. But
My pleasure,
yeah,
man.
definitely, man. We'll definitely plan something out, bro. And as I said, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on again, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor, man. Thank you.
and to get to have a chat to you and hear about some of your background and you getting very real with our audience as well, and letting people know that going through stuff like that, counseling is a thing. Find an outlet,
Yeah.
find something to make yourself better, because making a taking a permanent solution for a temporary problem is not going to fix anything. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It's kind of hard to come out and say fucking, that I tried taking my own life at a young age because of bullying, but Man, unfortunately, these are things that are unspoken about. So it's things that need to be brought to light, and people need to be aware that it's okay to speak up. It's okay to say if you need help or if there's an issue. Again, back to saying no. It's okay to say no to promoters if you're not comfortable, but it's also important to speak up, speak out. So hopefully
Yeah.
that message comes across pretty clear to the viewers tonight. Sorry. So
Yeah, no, absolutely is. And, just on that, I just want to say to our listeners and viewers, if you are feeling, in a dark place, is help available. We have viewers and listeners in the USA and Australia. So the USA Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. An Australian Lifeline number is 13 11 14. So if you're going through some shit, you're going through some stuff, it ain't weak to speak. Reach out to someone. There's always someone at the other end of the line. And again, if you can't find a contact, reach out to me. I'll find a place for you. I'll help you get in contact with the right people as well.
I was literally about to say the same thing, man. So, like, reach out. Like my Instagram at DjaySonic official, man. I used to do talks at actually the same high school I went to. I went back to talk about my life and my success post finishing school. So everything that we've spoken about today on the podcast, like with touring and all that stuff. So I did bring that up to them. So yeah, feel free. I've had a lot of people message me with confidence to talk about what they're going through and what I could advise. But at the end of the day, I'm one person. Again, I'm not a professional, but I've been through it. But always seek professional help, I guess.
Yeah, and even on the other note, people that make fun of others, even if they're just flipping comments, you need to be careful when making those comments because you don't know how that affects someone. And man, I'm sure that your bullies had no idea that that's what was going through your mind. And you'd like to think that human beings would go, fuck, like I caused this motherfucker to try this. Like, fuck, that's terrible. So, but again, man, look, very inspirational guy, DJ. Thank you so much for being on, Mr. DjaySonic. It's been great. We will tee up that time with you and Vinny Vane and just chop it up one night and talk some shit. Maybe get a couple of wines into Vinny. I know he doesn't drink, but we'll try.
Hey, I don't drink either. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll drink for you guys. And
why not? You can drink for us.
You guys take over the podcast and I'll be like, oh, but guys, guys, thank you everyone who tuned in live. Thank you to everyone who tuned in after the fact. If you do want to tune in for our lives, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good shit. Listen, find us on any podcast platform. Give us a 5-star fucking review because we would appreciate it ever so much. Check out our sponsors, healthvape.com and sleeps.com. Use that promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Go follow DjaySonic on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Send him a message. Say hi. He's a friendly guy. Buy some merch and he'll be even friendlier.
I need the money.
That's it. But thank you again, brother. It's been great. And we'll talk soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Take care, bro.
Yeah.